So the question is, you noted that an individual building owner is considered by the Belgian legislation incompetent. Doesn't the owner agree on the specifications of building under construction? Maybe you could answer this one because it's quite different from the other question.
Indeed, but in the Belgian context, when you are building a building, you have to go with an architect. So the architect also has responsibilities. In the Belgian context, it's indeed the owner which is responsible to comply with the regulation, and he has to sign a set of forms to that. But of course, he has help from his architect and also from the rapporteur. And indeed, there are specifications, and the building will be built according to this specification. But at the end, he is the client, so he is deciding on what will be built, but with the help of an architect.
Yeah, then the next two questions, maybe we can put them together. So the first one is it true that the control of the EPC has to be paid by the government? And the next question, is the EPC database run by the same organizations responsible for control systems in EU member states? So somehow this is a little bit connected. Maybe you could answer the two of them.
What we saw in the presentation, who is operating the control system, you find very different situation in Europe. The one I know the best, because it's the situation in Belgium, is that it's operated by the governmental body, for instance, an energy agency. And in this case, the costs are indeed covered by the government. No, not all systems are free in every member state. And for instance, I know example of countries where the rapporteur has to pay an annual fee and a way to finance the control system. So there are very different solutions in Europe for that. And on the EPC database, again, the situation can be very different. Who is responsible to operate the database? The situation, again, I'm the best. It's again when it's an energy agency who is operating that, and who is running the database and operating the control system. Maybe, Suzanne, you know other example?
I think maybe we can refer to the concerted action, to the country reports. I think there is a lot of information also on these aspects, specifically regulated in the member states. So maybe we can give that, recommend people interested in details, just check the country reports under the respective chapters. And the last question, do we know if there is a substantial difference in compliance rates depending on who is responsible, the owner, the rapporteur, or the notary? The only studies I saw on that was on who is responsible, but it's also the case that it's possible in one country that several actors are responsible for that at the same moment. But so this question is about the EPC in advertisement. We saw there that even less countries did know compliance rate regarding this requirement. So there were very few of them aware of the compliance rate. So according to who is responsible, I'm not convinced that this information is existing. Okay, so then there is another question. Is the rapporteur the same person, an engineer or an architect in all member states?
Yeah, it's also a tough question. Again, referring to the EPBD concerted action book, is maybe the best answer we can give here, because there you will find one country report for every member state, In Belgium, at least, we can say it's a specific task, and it can be done by the architect, but it's not necessarily the architect that is doing that. But I'm not given an answer to that.
Okay. So are these all questions?
Yes, I do so.
Yes. Okay. So then I think we can proceed, right?
Now the presenter.